Hey everyone, I hope you are having a beautiful day. Listen, today I wanted to chat with you about one of the ways that I help my clients stay on track even through the holidays. I'm talking fat burning solutions that you can implement tomorrow without any planning ahead, without any calorie counting, any of that stuff. This is simple stuff, and this is the basis to the Faster Way to Fat Loss program that I run, and we'll have a new one starting very soon. If you don't know me, thank you so much for joining. My name is Samantha Rowland. I am a Faster Way to Fat Loss coach. I'm also a personal trainer and a nutrition coach. So I am talking today about easy to implement strategies on how to burn fat effectively even throughout the holidays when everything seems to be a little bit harder, a little bit more stressful. There's too many parties and shopping and all the things that get in the way of your normal activities that make it seem harder than it should be to continue on your fat loss journey. And that's why I wanted to chat today specifically about intermittent fasting. Now, you may hear the word fasting and want to turn off and just go away from me, but give me a second and let me talk to you just quickly about truly what intermittent fasting means and why I think it's such a great option for people who are trying to burn fat while still, do all the things that make you crazy around this time of year. Now, intermittent fasting is just a way of eating. It is not a calorie restriction. You essentially have a fasting window and an eating window. With intermittent fasting, we try to keep your fasting window to about 16 or more hours a day, and then you eat the rest. So let's say we're doing a 16-8, which together equals 24. You would fast for 16 hours of your day and eat within an 8-hour window. For most of my clients, what that looks like is they wake up, they may or may not exercise, they drink lots of water, maybe some tea or coffee throughout the morning, and around lunchtime is when they break their fast. Now, you may hear breakfast and never associate that with break your fast, but that's essentially where the term breakfast came from. So at noon, they break their fast. Some of my clients choose to eat breakfast style food, but most of them break their fast with like a salad or just whatever you would normally have for lunch. Once you break your fast, your 8-hour window starts. So they may have their breakfast, a snack, and then dinner with their family. And then around 8 p.m., they start their next round of fasting, which goes through the night. So most of their fast is actually while they are sleeping, which is why it's so easy to do. And then they'll get up the next day, fast in the morning, and then break their fast again in the middle of the day. Now, the reason this works, number one, is that they eat enough calories in their eating window that they are sustaining all the things that you need to be a fat burner, which means their hormones are being taken care of, they're getting enough protein, they're getting enough fat to synthesize those hormones to rebuild muscles and all of those things. So they are eating adequate calories during their eating window. Now, during the fasting window, why this is so effective for fat loss specifically is that it gives you the opportunity to empty out your stomach. And then, so it takes about 8 to 10 hours for the last thing that you ate to kind of make it through the process of having an impact on your insulin levels. Now, if you know anything about insulin, insulin is the storage hormone, and we need it to help us store away all the nutrients that we just ate. So it does its job. It gets sugar to your muscles. It gets protein where it needs to be. It does all the things it's supposed to do. But after about 8 to 10 hours, your insulin has done its job with your last meal, and then you are in this place where your body is very easy to use your stored body fat for fuel, and that's to do things like stand up, sit down, brush your teeth, wake up, move around, get dressed. All the things that you might normally do will be fueled by fat from your body instead of fat from your breakfast or carbs from your breakfast or whatever that might be. And this is going to help you burn fat even when we are crazy busy like we are, because it does not require you to do pretty much anything to think ahead of time. Now, I know there are some normal questions that people give me, and I'll try to answer them. Can you have cream and sugar in your coffee? Well, sugar is probably not a good idea because you're trying to not boost your insulin during the time. So coffee can be black. Coffee can also have a splash of coconut milk, almond milk. You could even do, if you can tolerate dairy, a splash of heavy cream. Usually the threshold is about 50 calories, so you don't want to go over 50 calories during your fast. And you don't want to have any fiber or sugar during that time because that's going to spike up your insulin and essentially break that fast. And remember, the reason that we are fasting is because we're trying to keep our insulin levels way low so that your body can use fat instead for fuel. The other question I may get is, oh my gosh, there's no way I can start this tomorrow. Are you crazy? My recommendation is that every single day, maybe you add 30 minutes to an hour to your fasting window. So let's say tonight you finish eating at 8 p.m. You already ate your dinner and you're done for the night. Tomorrow, try to wait until 8 a.m., so 12 hours before you break your fast. If that seemed easy, the next day, again, eat till 8 o'clock. And then the next morning, try to fast till 8:30, and then 9 o'clock, and then 9:30. And you can slowly build into this so that at the end of, let's say, 2 weeks, you're in a 16-hour fast and you don't feel deprived. And you'll know very quickly if you had enough calories from the day before or not. Because if you didn't, it's going to be really hard to even get to that 12-hour point. Some other questions that I get are, well, what if I work out? I really need to fuel my muscles. Don't you always tell me how important protein is? I do believe that it is super important to refuel your muscles to help them with that repair process. And that's why I have my clients use BCAAs. I did a whole post on that. I will make sure to link to it so that you can read all about BCAAs. Technically, they will give you a little bit of protein, which may break your fast just for a second, but the insulin response is so low because it's protein that your body gets what it needs to repair and restore, but it doesn't spike up your insulin levels so high. But a protein shake would technically break your fast. Any other questions? Nothing's coming up? Okay, cool. So if you guys have more questions, you can download my PDF that has everything you need to know about intermittent fasting in an easy to absorb, readable way. You can also leave me any questions you have just right below this in the comments, and I will be happy to answer this. If you've had a friend who you know would love to do intermittent fasting with you, tag them on this post and tell them, hey, let's try this together, okay? So we will be having a faster way to fat loss starting in the new year. So if this is something you want to start trying now and then really dive in deep starting in the new year, you can get all those details on the website as well. So I hope you guys have a great night. Remember, if you have comments, leave them below. I'd love to answer any of the questions you have. Have a good one and stay fat burning.